Hello, Commander. The enemy had treacherously planted a mine at the like button. I need you to send your best man to disable it, demine the like button, and give it a huge, heavy punch. Our safety depends on you, Commander. Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the summary for the day of 174 for the 16th of August. Oh my freaking god, I have covered this war for 174 days. I have no life. So let's start off with missile strike, and the Russians have struck at the airbase at Ozerne in the Zhytomyr region. So this is the airbase. Not sure exactly where they hit. Reportedly, the strike is carried out by two X-59 missiles from a Sukhoi 34 aircraft. So only two missiles, not very big. I think the caliber is also not very big. However, it damaged the runway and the vehicles. So, previously, this airbase, according to Raiba, the pro-Russian source, is actually occupied by the 39th Tactical Aviation Brigade of the Ukrainian Air Force. So that's one. Also, there is a attack on the Russian airbase in how do I pronounce this? Hvardiiske or Hvardiiske. The actual Russian name is actually Hvardiiske. So this airbase here was attacked by some random explosion, reportedly some kind of sabotage. It's not by missile strike. So there's also the more famous one, which is ammunition depot near Dzhankoi. Dzhankoi is actually here. So somewhere, I think the explosion exploded around, I think, this location here. However, because I do not cover this kind of explosion or attack, attack on ammunition dumps, I don't report on that, because if I report on that, then every day I will have like countless number of these explosions I have to cover, which actually doesn't make much of a difference, in the sense that we can't really tell a very direct difference, to whether how it changes the war. So it's not very practical to cover it. And some people commented that I should actually show my face when I do the summary, because they say that you actually improve. I don't know what is going to improve. So yeah, that's my face. So not sure what's so good about my face. So I'm gonna do this with my face, and then hopefully it makes a difference to you. I'm not sure it does anything to me. Yeah, but if there's more views, then yeah, it does something to me. So basically, I do not cover the explosion there, but there is a strike here. I did not really see any of the footages from this airbase explosion. The one that was going viral is the ammunition one, because the missiles were flying everywhere. The shells are flying everywhere like some cartoon. So moving on, that's what else do we have. 1, 2. Okay, so we don't cover cross-border shelling anymore because it's a waste of time. But so moving on to the southern front. So at the southern front, the fighting reported at Novomykhailivka, there was no updates regarding it. The Ukraine Defense Ministry did not mention it in today's report. And also, I just want to highlight, it's a bit late in Ukraine now. But this summary is actually for yesterday's summary. It's for 16. It's not for the 17. So there might be some development you might actually see or rumored on Twitter or something. I might not be covering it. So don't go to the comments and say why you didn't cover this or that. Yeah, because it's the yesterday's summary. The reported fighting at Shiroke, we will delete it because it's on the 13th, and then we are already now in the 17th, and we haven't seen anything about this. Probably the attack has failed. So I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to push back the front line. And enjoying my face yet? That sounds so wrong, so weird. And then okay, so there is however new developments over at the Davydiv Brid front. At the Davydiv Brid front, according to the Ukraine Defense Ministry, the Russians have launched a combined arms attack, airstrike conducted. There's an airstrike and then follow up with a ground offensive, and at Bilohirka. So the Ukrainians then somehow forced the enemy to flee. Perhaps they sink very badly, and the Russian troops are like, no, then they actually started running backwards. So yeah, maybe that happened. However, the previous reported fighting at Lozove is also from the 13th of August, so I will delete this because it's no longer relevant in terms of the strategic view. There's no more fighting over there. Oh yeah, I missed this one. So this is a missile strike on the Kalinindorf train station. This train station here. Yeah, this train station, we can't even see a proper train station. It's just one icon there. So the Russian Ministry of Defense reported that a large number of the Ukrainian reserve forces, reserve troops, basically reinforcements, and weapons, and of course their equipments that were unloading at this railway station got destroyed. So not sure what they used to attack. This definitely quite close to Russian, quite close to the front line. You know, it's 5 kilometers. You can probably hit it from Kostromka, I guess, with a Grad system, multiple launch rocket system. It can be anything. And with the Russians holding air superiority, this might also be hit by the Air Force. But knowing the Russians, if it's hit by the Air Force, they will actually mention the Air Force. So it's probably artillery or missile strikes. So that's all from the Davydiv Brid front. This must be a very painful loss for the Ukrainians. However, this unloading, however, does put into question into these Russian mapping claims that Zeleny High, Novopotavka, as well as Krasnolubezk is under Russian control. I actually do not think it's under Russian control because this is too close. This front line, this train station to when they do unloading. So this unlikely to be under Russian control. So I'm going to delete all these red pimples from here, and then I'm going to push back the front line so that you, for those that are new or do not know the way how I do things, I do updates on the fly, because if I don't, then you might not know what have changed. So this is why I do this. Sometimes I actually know or changed and then I actually change it back, because I realized that if I change it without telling you, I might actually also forget about it during the summary when I'm covering it. So yeah, so this is why I do this. So yep, so we at least we clean up the front line a bit following the river. So that's all from Davydiv Brid front. On the Khyber side, we have no information. There's no development over here. So that's all from the southern front. Do we have an airstrike? No, the HIMARS strike didn't hear anything about that. At the Zaporizhzhia line. Zaporizhzhia line, there is no new updates in terms of a ground offensive. This fighting at Novomykhailivka is from the 13th, so I'll delete it. The one at the Vremivka is from yesterday, from the the last summary. If you haven't watched it, then I decided to add this new thing, which is the mining. So mining information, sometimes it get reported by the Russian or by the Ukrainians. Usually it's by the Ukrainians. They like to report about remote minings, which I suspect most of the time when they say the Russians are doing remote mining, it's actually themselves. Because most of the time the Russians don't really need to do mining because they are the offensive force. You do not attack with mines. You actually want to have no mines so that you can actually move freely. The defenders actually want to have mines to to control the movement of the attacking troops. So use brain, yeah. So however on this side the Ukrainians reported the Russians are mining the area in Inzhenerne as well as Ukrainske. So Ukrainske is here and Inzhenerne is here. So this, I believe, might have some credibility or possibility that is actually by the Russians, because the Russians are trying to hold the line here. However, similarly, the problem with mining, you know, for the side that is actually superior or more powerful is that you have to demine it later, you know, if because you are supposed to be more stronger, and then you actually capture more ground, you push the front line backwards, and then you have to deal with the mines that you actually planted yourself. So the Ukrainians are a bit different because they are fighting a total war. They know that they are outgunned, so which is why they deployed a lot of mines to, you know, control and limit the movements and slow down the offensive of the Russians. So this is why the Ukrainians are more likely to use mines. Let me move the fan a bit and worry about effects. Yeah, so I'm very low tech. So moving on to so that's all from the Zaporizhzhia line. Moving on to the Donetsk Front. At the Donetsk Front, we have continuation of the fighting at Vuhledar. And this helicopter is outdated already, so delete it. There's no more fighting reported near Mykolaiv. So we will still leave this icon here, so that probably will, you know, keep track of it until maybe a few more days. There's, however, this very weird report from the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. They say that there is a offensive battle by the Russians in the area of the settlement of Shevchenkove. However, Shevchenkove does not exist in Donetsk. And this report is actually talking about Donetsk, you know, area, and Shevchenkove, you know, in Zaporizhzhia or Dnipro is all very far away from the front line. So I suspect it might be a typo error. It's actually referring to Shevchenko, which means that they are also somewhat trying to claim that they actually hold the position in Shevchenko, which, because it's not so clear, I don't want to anyhow indicate. So I just indicate, you know, with the dog here, Shevchenkove, that's fighting in this area. However, not very sure what it's supposed to mean. But there might be some possibility, because if we are seeing offensive across the entire front line, then for the Russians to actually try to launch an attack from Shevchenko direction up, it is possible. The fighting at the Preshchestivka is not repeated. No one mentioned about it. However, we do have a clear indication that fighting continues over at the Novomykhailivka, just south of Marinka. And we have updates on Marinka, where the Russian Ministry of Defense mentioned half of the servicemen from the 3rd Battalion of the 66th Mechanized Brigade have abandoned their position. So I list this as a partial Ukrainian withdrawal reported at Marinka. However, this does not mean anything. It's just additional information about this battle here, because this might be an indication where the Russian might push forward. However, it may also means nothing, because these guys who retreated might be reinforced with another troop, another unit, and these guys might actually be, you know, pushed back to the front line by their, you know, whoever is actually mining them. So that's all for Marinka. We did not have reports of fighting at Marinka, because the Marinka reports is actually is bombardment. The Russians stopped the ground offensive, and they went back to artillery strikes on Marinka, which is why this report remains to start at 13th, because the Ukrainian defense continue to hold. So the Russians go back to their old strategy of just bombard the hell out of them. The fighting at the Nevelske, there's a fighting Nevelske, which is, I think, I reported yesterday, from Novomykhailivka northwards. And then we have a new information coming from Ryba, the pro-Russian source, that the Russian troops are actually advancing from Pisky, which is here, from Pisky towards Nevelske. So they are now doing a pincer. And in fact, if you see some of these old entrenchments, you can see that the Russians are actually moving from behind, from the rear. All these positions are are actually ignored, and then they actually move from the rear towards Nevelske. Maybe they were worked out. Of course, the Ukrainian positions can continue to entrench themselves along the tree lines, which is pretty much the terrain that this Ukraine war is mostly fought in. So they will take some time for them to reach Nevelske. However, any Ukrainian troops that is in this position is going to freak out. But most likely, they might have retreated and pushed backwards with the fall of Pisky. So I'm not sure if I have mentioned this already. On the 14th, there is a suspected retreat by the Ukrainian troops from Pervomaiske. And then there is fighting reported on the 17th of Pervomaiske, where they simply mentioned that the Donetsk militia units are pushing towards Pervomaiske, and then they are also pushing towards Vuhledar. So this continues to be relevant. They are pushing towards Vuhledar. So from Pisky, they are now spreading in multiple directions. Reminds me of Popasna, and there is some I think some debate. I'm not sure I saw it where. Is it Telegram or is it Twitter, where they say that Pisky is another Popasna, where it's such a major stronghold that the fall of it actually caused the Russians to be able to flow, in multiple directions, and causing massive defeats, consecutive defeats on the Ukrainian side. I'm not so sure, because I'm not sure how deep is the defenses of the Ukrainian on the rear of Pisky. However, there is fighting reported at Opytne. Opytne is here, and this is another one that I missed. I think I might not have reported. I might have missed it from telling you. Is that on the 14th, there is report that the same report with Pervomaiske, where the 56th Mechanized Infantry Brigade refused to perform their combat tasks, so they are withdrawing. So another partial retreat over here. So, but of course, take this with a pinch of salt, because all these are very pro-Russian information. And if you want to believe everything Ukrainian or the pro-Ukrainian side say, then the Russians are they are so clinically depressed by now. So yeah, so let's not take that too seriously. But it's just additional information, because at least we know that if let's say Opytne suddenly fall, then we will know that it's because of the withdrawal. It's not because of fighting victory. So that's something like this. Fighting continues at Avdiivka, but we did not have anyone reporting about it. So I think maybe I think there was this report about the militias taking over at a southeast location, around southeast outskirt of the city, where the Ukrainians have surface-to-air missile or anti-aircraft units. The Ukrainian troops reportedly abandoned the position, and then the Donetsk militias took over the position. However, I do not know where is the exact location, and that might also not be a sense. There might not actually be fighting also. So it might be they just walk into a empty territory. So not sure. So I did not indicate. Moving on, there's no updates on the Krasnohorivka nor the Alexandropil. This attack might have failed. I think the Alexandropil, because it's from the 13th, I will delete it. Leaving the Krasnohorivka one. We will probably delete it if we have no more updates tomorrow, so that we can clean up the map a bit, so that we have some kind of clarity. Then moving on to this is going to be so difficult. I'm not even sure how to call this front now. So in between the Bakhmut and the Donetsk Front, the Ukrainian Defense Ministry reported fighting at Zalizne, Sumy, as well as Zayseve. So this is all within the same paragraph, and then they say that the Russians actually launched an assault action towards these three positions, and however, the Russians did not capture the position. So Yeah, so there's something new because Sumy was not attacked for a very long time. Zelizny is something new. So Zaiseve surprised that it's still not captured yet. But it is a very spread out town, so it will take some time, I guess. So yeah, in terms of Dacha, we delete it. The fighting at Dacha have dissipated. Not sure what happened. Not sure if they actually captured Dacha as well. Maybe I should check it with maybe Ryba's map to see whether Dacha is actually captured or not. I suspect it might be captured. I suspect. But if we do not have information about fighting, maybe around Mykolaiv Druha, then it's a bit hard to to decide on the DPA side whether Dacha is actually captured. Moving on to the Bakhmut front. The fighting at Kodema was not mentioned. Ryba on their because I don't really dig through many channels nowadays because I realize a lot of them are not sources. However, Ryba did mention that the information that Kodema is captured is actually premature, and they actually say that it's still under Ukrainian control, according to Ryba. And it kind of surprised me because I never saw a capture of Kodema just yet. This fighting at Zaiseve also don't know what's happening. Maybe it's happening, maybe it's not. Not sure. The Vesela Dolena one, I will delete it because this out of the blue Interslava one I think is inaccurate. So I don't think there's fighting over there at Vesela Dolena. In Bakhmut, the fighting continues in this region, this area. The Ukrainians seems to be entrenched within these positions and in making it quite impossible for the Russians to actually push forward. According to additional information was that all the bridges is currently mined. That means there are bombs planted to all these bridges, but only one bridge was actually blown up. I suspect it's this one, and then all the various strong points are all positioned with Ukrainian troops, so they are ready to fight a very long battle. So Bakhmut might be the new Popasna. So don't expect a fast fall of Bakhmut. Popasna was given the nickname of Pimple, the pimple of Donetsk or of Luhansk, was because this pimple refused to disappear. It's like like the pimple on your face, right? Then it just refused to disappear. It's like an acne. So that's why the Popasna there's a lot of false information about its capture multiple times. Then it actually took like 1 month or 2 to capture it. So Bakhmut is a city of, I think, similar size to Popasna. So it's actually bigger than Popasna. So this is Popasna. So then this is Bakhmut. So Bakhmut is slightly bigger. So I believe Bakhmut will be a very hard city to capture. So it will take some time. So don't get too excited. So moving on to so there is also reports that according to Ryba that the Wagner PMC, the private military contractors, are trying to attack the city from the north and the south as well, so that they are attacking from multiple directions. So however, I have no information on exactly from where. Is the south here, the Zaiseve one? Is the north here at Vuhledar? No idea. So I just indicate this for additional information purposes. Fighting at Bakhmutske continues, but this is reported previously yesterday. And fighting at Vuhledar is continuing, but no information, no additional information about Vuhledar. Usually when I say no information is because the Russians are simply doing bombardments. They're using artilleries only, so there's no ground offensive. Mykolaiv, there's no information. I'll delete this. All this information is now outdated. It's outdated, so we have no idea where's the front line now. I believe Bilohirka is still under Ukrainian control. Bilohirka, this Russian mapping claim. So I will delete all this. Yeah, make it clean. But the situation here is not so clear. Moving on to the Sivas front. So this is the Sivas front. We have reported fighting at Sperne. So Sperne is still disputed, which is the translation of Sperne. Is still disputed. The Russians still have not captured it. They said that the Russians decided to go on an offensive and suffered losses and retreated. So until now, Sperne, this kind of town, still haven't fall to the Russian hands. Even though Davydiv no information, Vinka, I think is no more. The offensive, probably did not work out. So I'm gonna push back a bit the front line, and then Ukrainske also no information. I think the fighting seems to have stopped. The Serebryanka is also have no information. So you the next summary, if still no more offensive, we're going to delete this as well. So yeah, that's all from the Sivas front. And moving on to the Izium front. At the Izium front, there's more action. There's fighting reported at Vuhledar, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. However, interestingly, Ryba, the pro-Russian source, reported that the 3rd Motorized Rifle Division of the Russian forces have captured the village of Vuhledar. And I put it a question mark because this is disputed. So I only moved the front line, so there's actually an overlapping front line. So we know that there is conflicting claims. There is fighting reported at Dolena previously, but we have no updates about it. And interestingly, is that there is fighting reported at Mazanivka. So this is according to the Ukraine Defense Ministry that they're fighting near Mazanivka, and according to Ryba, which actually added more information, they said that the Ukrainian command reported the repulse of previously lost Mazanivka and presenting it as a major victory. I somehow didn't see it. So anyway, the Ukrainian forces tried to attack Dovhenke, and then they did not work out. So they returned to their original positions. So now they are fighting for Mazanivka. So this, which means that there is this conflict for Mazanivka. So I'm going to move the front line forward in this way. So which means that this entire area here is now disputed. We are not sure who is actually controlling what. And there's actually nothing to capture. This is actually just one road with a few houses, and that's about it. That's Mazanivka. So there is nothing worth fighting for. It's actually just the forest, which is why this overlapping area have to be in this way, because it is just forest. There is fighting reported at Novomykhailivka. So according to the Ukraine Defense Ministry, in the same sentence, there's fighting in this area here. So let's see how this goes. That's all from the Izium front. Yes, that's all. So nothing at Bilohirka front, and we are now at Kharkiv front. At the Kharkiv front, there's a new front or new. So no, previously we talked about the capture of this. Right. Oh, okay. At Novomykhailivka, right? So it's a surprise. It came as a surprise where the Russians suddenly start a new front, or better front. Okay. So the Russians now start a new better front all the way in the southernmost part of the Kharkiv front, where they are now reported fighting at Bilohirka, as well as Lebyadze, whatever. So this is reported by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, and so there is now fighting in this region here. I think it's entire area here as a major assault towards. And then the Ukrainians reported that the Russians are remotely mining the area near Lebyadze, and which makes no freaking sense, because they say that the Russians are leading an offensive. You don't throw mines in front of you to kill yourself. So this remote mining is definitely a Ukrainian remote mining because of the Russians are making an advance towards Lebyadze. So the Ukrainians have to drop some mines, maybe in a hurry, as a desperate measure to slow down the offensive. So that would make sense. If you say the Russians are remotely mining the area where they are trying to attack, that makes no freaking sense. So this is just something that I want to share, and I believe that with this additional information about the mining, we can actually have more mental preparation about how fast or slow the offensive is going to be in a certain areas. Of course, this information I already missed out many days of mining information, so we just gonna start now. It's never too late. This war is going to go on for a very long time, from the look of it. So that's all from this side, on the southern side of Kharkiv. The fighting reported at Pitomnik is no longer reported. So I think this combat reconnaissance is successful, but they suffered losses and retreated. So then everything else is just artillery shelling, because they discovered the Russians are there, the Ukrainians are there. This foreign religion one I already reported, and that's it. So how's it with my face? Not very handsome, I know, but maybe to many of you, not many Asians, Chinese, Singaporean Chinese you have seen, so maybe I look very exotic, who knows, man. So anyway, this is the summary for the day of 174, 16th of August. Just a reminder again, information from the 17th of August is inside, but not all of it. So don't bug me about missing information. I just saw some rumors before I started the stream, not the stream, the recording, but I did not see it in the trusted sources that I follow. So it's just on Twitter. I see some mentions of some captures or something. So anyway, this is the summary, and let me know in the comments if you want to continue to see my face or not in the summary, because it's actually a bit troublesome that I need to go and wear a shirt, to look presentable. So let me know so that I will decide whether I want to have this box here anymore. Okay, and see you in the next update.